All right, in this lesson, we're going to do metric conversions. I love metric conversions, and I think they're so much easier than English conversions. So if you feel like they're really hard because they're unknown, just give it a chance. I promise by the end of this, I think you might have a different opinion. Okay, so before we get started, you need to understand that metric measures always have a prefix, and then they have a unit of measure, which we call the suffix. Okay, so the prefix is going to be kilo, hecto, deca. Then the base unit here, when it's just the unit, meter, liter, or gram, there's no prefix there. And then we have deci, centi, and milli. And you'll see that each one of these prefixes has a value. So 1 kilo meter, for example, would be 1,000 meters. So kilo means 1,000, right? Hecto is 100, deca's 10, deci is a tenth, centi is a hundredth, and milli is 1,000th. Now these prefixes also have abbreviations because when we're doing the calculations, it's a lot easier to write just K instead of kilo every time. Or like instead of kilometer, we write km. Okay, so our units, meter, liter, and gram, also have abbreviations of M, capital L, and little g. Okay, so let's get started. When we do conversions, the simplest way, because let me take this back for a second. If you notice, these are powers of 10, right? So 10 cubed, 10 squared, 10, right? 10 to the 0. So these are all powers of 10. And when we multiply and divide by powers of 10, all we have to do is move the decimal place. So that's what we're going to do when we do these conversions. Okay, so first we're going to identify the prefix in each problem. Then we're going to identify it on our metric scale here, and we're going to count the number of jumps and the direction of the jumps. Are we going left or right? And then we're going to move the decimal the same number of jumps and the same direction. Okay, so let's do the first one. It says 25 meters equals how many millimeters? Well, I look for the prefix. When I just have M, M's not a prefix. M is my unit, so it means I'm here at the base unit and there's no prefix. Okay, 2 M's means millimeter, so M milli is my prefix. Okay, so if I look here on my scale, I'm going to start here at my base unit. I'm going to go end at milli. Let's count the jumps. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go 3 jumps to the right. So I'm going to take my 25. There's no decimal place, so I'm going to spawn a decimal here at the end. Anytime a whole number without a decimal, the decimal always is an invisible decimal. It's always there on the right. We just don't usually write it unless there's a number that follows. Okay, we're going to go 3, 1, 2, 3 to the right. Put our decimal there. So we have, let's fill in our zeros first. 25000, which is 25,000 millimeters. So 25 meters is equivalent to 25,000 millimeters. Okay, let's look at our next one. We have 0.5 kilograms equals how many centigrams? Well, identify the prefix, which is kilo and centi. Find them over here, kilo and centi. I'm going to count my jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get 5, and I went to the right because kilo is bigger, right, than centi. Now I'm going to take my number, which is 0.5, and I'm going to move my decimal place 5 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0. So I have 50,000. So 0.5 kilograms is equivalent to 50,000 centigrams. All right, our next one, we have liters. So we have 11.6 milliliters equals how many liters? So I'm going to look for my unit, which is M. My prefix is M, and this one doesn't have a prefix, so that means I am at the base unit. All right, so let's find our prefixes on our scale. We are going from meter. Again, there's no prefix, so that means we're at the base unit. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So I went 3 jumps, and this time I went left. Okay, so I'm going to find my number, 11.6. The decimals here, 1, 2, 3. Fill in with the 0.0116 liters. So 11.6 milliliters is equivalent to 0.0116 liters. Okay, last one. This time we're going to go from millimeters to kilometers. So I look for my prefix, M and K. So M and K. Oh, I'm going across the whole scale. So let's count our jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I go 6 jumps to the left. So I'm going to take 800. There's no decimal. I'm going to spawn a decimal here on the right-hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 0, 0. So my final answer is 0.0008. All right, these extra zeros here, I do not need to add them to the end because they don't change the value of the number. And that's how we do metric conversions.